County Board of Commissioners to order. The date is September 1st of 2026. This meeting is being recorded and streamed for public viewing. By participating, you acknowledge that your image, voice, and comments may be captured and made publicly available. This meeting has been properly noticed in accordance with Indiana Code 5-14-1.5. Let the record show that a quorum of commissioners are present. The commissioners are open for business. We will now proceed with the agenda. At this time, I invite all in attendance to stand and recite the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for 8/18/2026 Commissioners meeting.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the floor to approve the meeting minutes for 8/18/2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll take a motion to recess the meeting.
I make a motion that we recess the meeting so we can tend to the Drainage Board.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor to recess the meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
You ready?
Yep.
I will open the September 1 Drainage Board meeting. First thing would be approve minutes from the August meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the August Drainage Board minutes as received.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the August Drainage Board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Chad,
Good morning.
or you want to talk about the claims?
Well, let's go to some things here first of people in the room and things we can handle here first. So let's start with Brown. So number 3 on your list, or I'm sorry, with number 3, Kendra, minor sub. So this is 600 east, about 350 south. You can see up on the board there, it backs up to Nameless Creek. They have they're coming for a variance to daylight. So the house they're looking to is going to be on this parcel that is right here. And it's going to go back towards the creek. There's a big drop off here in the back for the ground. They own this entire parcel here as this goes back. So it's the parents are giving to the kids for what they need to do. And so what they are looking to do is, if you're drawing there, bring it in. They're cutting them a sliver out there, put a house and things on, and then to give them an easement off the parent track to daylight down over the hill back towards Nameless Creek. And there's a good bit of fall back there for that to get away. As it goes back down through there. There is I don't know if you would call it a natural ravine or a small swale-ish type of thing that is back there. I don't think it quite meets the intent of the waterway for that to tie into, but it does get that, and it takes it over to blue, to Big Blue back there, or to the creek back there, to Nameless Creek as it gets back through there. So they're looking for a variance to daylight off of their drainage for their minor sub.
No issues, you see?
What's that? No issues. For $450 fee. Yep.
And there's a fee?
Yeah, there's a fee, $450.
I move that we approve the variance to daylight for the Kendra Minor subdivision at the normal county fee.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the Kendra daylight with the normal county fees. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, let's go to the next one on your list. This is Zion Estates, lot 15. So Zion Estates is a subdivision that is just off of 300 South, north of 300 South, and west of 600 West. Across the street from the school there, the church and the school. Lot 15 here, they're looking to build. It is, look at the aerial here. It is, it has a cul-de-sac that comes into it. It dead ends, the street ends up this way, so it's kind of a T road. This is looking to put on here. Backs up to the pond in the back. But the issue on this side, of the east side, there is a 100-foot power easement that runs through there, and then there is a 30-foot, on your plans it shows a 70, and that's not correct. It's a 30-foot drainage easement there, where there is a 24-inch RCP pipe running through there that takes water from the street back towards the pond. The house that they would like to build there, the way they would like to situate it, because of the street coming in and where it's at, the driveway then would come off of the side here and go through the easement and over top of the 24-inch tile. So I think Mr. Smith is here, the builder. I'd like to say a few things not about it. He's there. So when it originally came through planning for where it was at, it was assumed that the driveway would be here off to the side. Because of this street coming in off of the north here, coming in, they would like to turn the house so that the headlights that are coming down there are not going straight into their house. And by doing that, they would like to be able to run their driveway, if they could, this way. The issue is it goes over top of that 24-inch tile, that it goes that way. And so at some point that tile is going to need to be worked on. Obviously there would be a hold harmless sign for that driveway to go over top of that. But, you know, hold harmless is, we have found, and we are still looking at this and researching this. If those of you who went to drainage school last week, both Gary and Janine were there, and I appreciate you guys being there. And I know Steve was online watching it as well. There was a presentation on encroachments over and things like that, and the things that can cause where it's at. And one of the things that was brought up was how those agreements are recorded. So they maintained to be with the property. We are at current, we do, and in perpetuity here, we have recorded those encroachments. I'm not sure they've ever been tied to the actual property. So they go into a file upstairs. So if somebody goes to buy that house down the way, it never shows up in a title research. Okay, and so that kind of throws a problem, right, for people who buy that house 2 or 3 down the road. Then that tile breaks down and we come in and say, hey, we need to fix that, and we're going to tear up your driveway and you're responsible for that. And they say, I knew nothing about that when I bought that house. So we are looking at our processes for that. We are going to try to make sure that any encroachments that we have that come from this board are now tied through those lots, tied to that property, so it automatically comes up there with that. There was also some wording in the agreement that they had compared to the agreement that we have. I think that's good wording, and I gave it to Steve to kind of look at that in the future then, if something were to happen or things like that, for the cost of the things that go to there. But so that is what's before you at this time. So of whether to allow them to put their driveway on that standpoint. I know we are going to try to do everything we can, if it is to be passed, to allow that to be tied to that piece of property. So that way, every landowner that comes in after that fact would understand that that driveway is there and over that. And if that tile needs to be fixed, then it would be their responsibility to put it back and do that. The county would not be held liable of that or anything that is done with that. But the encroachment or the encroachment to cross, I guess it would be crossing more than as an encroachment, but the crossing of that drain is before you to decide whether you would allow that or not. And the builder is here, so if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask about that. from that standpoint. So,
Do you
and
have
this is a new subdivision. So this subdivision was built 4 years ago, around 4 years ago. It was recorded about 4 years ago. So even the pipes that are in there right now are still under the performance bond that is there. And I think next year or the year after, the performance bonds run up on that. And then, so you have the life of a tile or where you're at. So you won't have an issue, hopefully, you won't have an issue there for 20 or so years, but it's still.
What kind of tile is it?
It is RCP. So it is reinforced concrete pipe. It's a 24-inch. So it's a bigger tile. So you need a bigger piece of equipment to get in there. So that's the one side of the caveat. The other side of it is it's a bigger, better tile. So it's going to last longer, right? So it's not N12 or any other kind of plastic. So, those are the information going forward. I'm sitting in the middle of this one.
The appearance of this house is, they're going to be looking the side of a house?
So,
Surely there's a window on that side.
keep going. You want to talk about that? Sorry.
You got to come
Just come
up.
up here and let them know who you are. So that way you get you into the record here. And
I am Tim Smith with Integrated Construction. We're the builder for this particular property. And like Dan said, we rotated the house 20 degrees on the lot to avoid the other street coming straight into it. And the tile that he's talking about there, I know he talked about a hold harmless, but I met with my customers on it, and we would be willing, or they would be willing to amend the deed to actual have that in the deed itself instead of just a separation waiver per se.
I'm thinking that the subdivision itself would have an issue with this. House sitting sideways,
No, so this whole area right here is on a radius. So a lot of the homes in there right now won't set parallel with the streets per se. I've done 8 homes in here so far, and lot 21 is the only one that I've done set parallel with the street. Other ones, we rotate them for the best view of the property. And they wanted to rotate this one. 2 reasons. Again, you got a street coming straight into it, and then rotating it 20 degrees, you get a better view of the woods that's behind it and the retention pond and stuff like that. And because the developer originally removed some topsoil and stuff out of there, which caused us a little bit more problem on this one, we had to have soil borings redone. So the septic in the front, and Mike, you can tell me, it's really not usable. So we're having to go in the back, which is going to create a mound system. So rotating it a little bit keeps them from looking directly in the hill of that mound as well.
So my concern is, and you can put it upside down, I don't care, but that corner of that house is 30 feet from the tile, right on the corner of it.
so the
So
corner
a
of that house,
24-inch pipe, and we have to come in there with an excavator.
that corner of the house will be 15 feet. So it'll
15
be right at that. So the corner of that house from the drawing is right at the easement line. So it's a 30-foot easement. So it's not a 70-foot easement, it's a 30-foot easement. So from the center of that tile, that house is going to be 15 feet from that tile, correct?
Here's the can being kicked down the road. We've already done it, so, as long as the county holds harmless, and we gotta tear out the concrete, I'm more worried about the house that they're gonna swing into. But we've already done that.
But if we're held harmless from it,
Not from the house, it's out of the easement, because we lowered the easement to 30 feet.
Oh, they'll just have to
it's
stay in the
It's a
easement.
platted subdivision, that's how it comes through. So whenever they do that, we didn't reduce the easement through here. So this is, when they create these easements in subdivisions, per our code, if it's a 24 or larger tile, it has to be a 30 to 30-foot easement.
But I'm right, they're out of the easement, the hound is out of the easement, if we hit it.
Correct, the house is
We're
out
paying
of the
for
easement, correct. Which is, no matter, they have the right to be out of the easement, and that's,
I know.
yeah. So the person who would be working the excavator there would have to be careful. They
But
would
like
just
you
work on one
said, it's
side.
reinforced concrete, so hopefully it never happens. So you don't have a problem with it?
I sit in the middle of the street, so, you know what I mean? I understand, I don't want to push the can down the road to other surveyors from that standpoint, but I also understand the homeowners and the thing for using their property for where they're at, and there is a hold harmless, so, you know.
And I'm sure you've looked at all other avenues to make the best use of this land.
Yes, yes, we have.
Okay.
Unless we abandon that septic up front, which creates another. Because this was one of the first subdivisions around that which I think is an excellent idea, is all the primary and secondary septic fields are determined and recorded and created as an easement to that property. So it becomes a lot simpler to get the systems in there.
I don't know if it's possible, but I'd have your concrete people come out and strike those joints, control joints on either side of that, so it's an easier pull out of those slabs if you ever have to come and pull that thing out.
And we would saw cut
Change it.
those areas as well.
So it's going to be a saw cut driveway, you're not going to just put control joints in it?
The saw cut to act as control
Okay.
joints.
I like the idea of us figuring out a way to make it go with the flow, with the property in the future. So somebody 100 years from now, or whenever,
Correct, absolutely. And that's the thing that we've run into at different points. And so that's the discussion we're having right now to make sure that those, when they are recorded with the deed.
Steve, what do we have to do to make that happen legally?
It does anyways, it should. There's language in there that's assigned successors. The trouble is when somebody comes and does a title search, the way it's being recorded, I understand upstairs, is like in a miscellaneous index. So it may not show up on a title search. So I think there's a surveyor in Wells County, they've got a process where really the individual that is I guess in this case, who's the applicant that's asking for this? Is it the builder? Is it the homeowner? Who is that's your?
Well, it has to go with the land, so I would say.
No, this is your builder.
Yes.
Is the homeowner, or do we have an
Yeah,
owner?
we own
I
the
mean,
property.
You own the
They own the
property.
property.
So, they can sign the whole harmless, and then the trouble is when it goes to chain of title, that's where they sell it, we've got to make sure that the title company finds such
and
a
that's,
builder. and it
this is
goes
another subject,
down the
I guess, but from right now, but I think it should be done.
Right.
It has been. We've been recording them. It's just
Right.
getting it to show up on the title work so that
Well-
it's binding upon folks down the road.
And I think there's a process, maybe we didn't know what the process was, or maybe we need to talk to a recorder to find out what the correct process is to allow that to be, how you want to say, cross-referenced with that deed.
There are many, many miscellaneous indexes upstairs.
Yes.
Things have been
Yes,
placed
yes,
in.
but there should be a way that it can be put with that deed so that it comes up in a deed research, so it comes there, so that's.
Mike, did you do this original subdivision? Did you develop this original subdivision?
His company,
I took over.
Was Harold, and so was this lot always dedicated for a house, or was it just a vacant area with this big easement? Was it? Okay, that was my question.
That's a good question, because with all the easements and stuff that's in that area right there,
That's why I was
It
curious
comes
if you were
pretty close to
trying to
being
put
a
a house in there
non-buildable lot.
after it had come in differently, so.
and like I said before, when we looked at it, when Susan was here, we looked at it for a standpoint of, when it came through, and we assumed that the driveway was going to be coming off of the other side of the house, because the lot next to it is kind of the same for where it was at because of that easement that was there, but.
which makes that a little bit harder there, because
Absolutely, I'm not,
for a side-load garage, we like to give the customer at least 35 feet, because majority of people has SUVs anymore. So that gives them enough room to turn in and out.
absolutely. I'm not debating the fact, I just know that's where it was at in the planning process, so, that's why we are where we're at here today.
But we would be willing to prepare a whole new deed for it if that would make sure it got picked up down the road. I mean, I'm sure that's something you can do, right?
I can't. We could prepare.
Well, attorney will, but you could.
I mean, we could do that for this one, and then for the next ones after that, make sure we get the process in place, but, I mean, we want to make sure it gets with the property. I think that's for all of us that are involved. We want to make sure that,
But if we made this happen, whole recording what the hold harmless and all that and goes with the property, that's something the recorder would have to do for us, right? So that process would be retroactive and it would be taken care of. It's not, you don't have to amend the deed. If you buy property and there's a contract on you have first right of refusal. That contract's recorded with the deed.
Correct. The issue is whether or not that information shows up to a buyer when they go to buy it, so they have full knowledge.
But if it's
of what's there.
recorded
So
with the deed,
it's actually going to be recorded in our meeting minutes. And
Right.
we're going to have the hold harmless in the drainage board meet. The trouble that we've run into is exactly what Chad said.
That
3 or
doesn't
4 buyers down the
Yeah,
road.
that's-
Giving them notice when a title search comes in here and just doesn't
Right.
pick it up. So we've got to, it's technically binding on, once you approve it, it's in our meeting minutes. We've just got to get it in as many places in the public record as possible. So we've been recording it, we're fine. If there was ever an enforcement issue, we're fine. It's just from from your perspective,
I would
an
hate
issue
to-
of fairness for the people that are buying it, that they have actual
That's
notice.
my main concern, is making sure that because
Because no offense, you're going to build this and be gone. And so it's going
Yeah.
to be an owner's problem when the tile fails down the road, if that makes sense.
And we've never had, to my knowledge, I've never had a title person come into my office and say, hey, I'd like to see the minutes on this building
Right.
because we're going to go sell it.
Right.
Right, you know what I mean? And so we want to be able to make that accessible to them so that way it pops up for them. Now, in my standpoint, if I was doing a title research and I saw there was an easement there and a driveway through there, if they're doing a mortgage,
they
on it,
have-
it would almost, in my mind,
They
but
have
say,
knowledge.
that's you,
something's
that's
coming
not,
through there, something's
that's not a
right,
homeowner.
right? You know,
Especially,
but
yeah,
I'm
that's not a
not saying
homeowner.
that that doesn't happen, but I've never seen that from that standpoint. So, I think we're trying to make our processes cleaner for the people that we serve to make sure that they're protected down the road. But also, you're covered for where you're at. We're just trying to make sure that we don't come back and have to deal with down the road a misunderstanding of communication that should have taken place at the beginning.
I'm wondering, and this is probably a silly question, and you guys can tell me if it is, but is there any way that we can attach notes to Beacon? If I'm a homeowner, looking to buy a home, I'm going to go on Beacon.
We can. We could put things on there to say, hey, this was approved at Drainage Board, that there is a thing with that. But that still doesn't, that doesn't absolve from the standpoint if somebody goes to buy a house, that they don't always look on Beacon, right? You know what I mean? They might look
We
on
have to
Zillow,
get it
they might look
attached,
on whatever they're going to
so.
do, and they trust their real estate agent, and who trusts the people who are doing the title research, and there you go. It's all there,
Is that a regulated drain?
It will be a regulated
So
drain.
it doesn't even show up on Beacon yet. If you
It
go
will
back.
not. So we don't put them on regulated drains until the performance bonds are done. Or maintenance bonds are done. And then they come in and apply for that. So whenever they finish with their maintenance bond, then they apply for it to be regulated drain, because it's still under the control of the developer until they meet the standpoint of the steps that we have to make sure that it's all working before they turn it over to us.
So I
So,
imagine that'll be when this whole subdivision.
yes, it will be. This subdivision, I imagine, United States will be regulated drain as it comes through there. So that's, absolutely.
But this house may be done and sold well before.
It will definitely, yes, well, it'll probably be next year before any of that happens. So I would imagine that Mr. Smith would like to have this house done by next year, so.
That's why I say it'll
And
be
so
done.
with the Hunts who are looking to buy it, so, yeah, absolutely. So it's, yeah, absolutely.
I think there's only 3 or 4 lots left in there.
Yes, yeah, it's close.
But in any event for today, if we do the hold harmless and
that's it.
if everybody's happy with that, then
Yeah,
it doesn't look real good with only 15 feet or whatever, or
Nothing we can do about it now.
no, and if it's a concrete pipe, that's good, I think that'll hold up a long time, but nothing's forever.
I would like to see the result of how it's going to be attached.
okay, sure, absolutely. We can do that once you get done. Hopefully, by next meeting, if it's not by next meeting, the following meeting, whenever that all gets finalized and recorded up, we can bring that back to you and show
Yeah.
you how that happened and what steps we took to make that work.
I want it to pop up when person looks at that house. I mean, because they deal with the same thing on HOA rules and guidelines and all that. Well, I never saw those. So I just wanted to make sure that it's attached in a way that it pops out at them.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. We'll work with the recorder on that to make sure that happens.
I move we approve the driveway crossing on a 24-inch tile on the Cary Hunt Zion estate.
I think there's
Second.
With a,
$250
standard county hold harmless and the county fee.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the driveway over 24-inch county tile on the Carey Hunt Zion Estates, Melissa and Carey Hunt, with the standard hold harmless and county fees. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's go back up to claims. So don't hurt your eyes for all the claims that we've had. If you've noticed in the last month, well, the last 2 weeks.
You didn't do any work last month, eh?
Well, you know, our contractors don't work for us specifically. So there are things happening in other counties where they are having a lot more issues, where a lot of our guys are helping and doing different things to alleviate issues. And so we were very blessed, as we talked about last time, with the amount of the way the infrastructure is, God keeping rain away from different spots, and everything for us held up pretty well. And I wanted to use this time to also let the board know, and I think the commissioners are going to talk about this here in a little bit, that the state did an emergency thing for FEMA. Our office has not received one phone call for a claim of anything for flooding from all that rain that came through. So that's pretty remarkable for where it's at. And so that is, I think, a testament to some of the things the board is doing, protecting the easements, and some of the things that our offices and contractors are doing, the highways doing. There's a lot of things that are working together to help us in the flooding issues that are there. And so I think that's a good thing. Now, I do know next month there will be a number more of claims as they start coming back, as there are a number of repairs that are out. I talked to a couple farmers, and here in the next couple of weeks, there are some beans that are going to start coming out. So, which I thought was a little early, but they planted early and they're about ready. So once that happens, we will get more as it comes along as well. So, but right now, the only two sets are, the Will Due South, the Brush and Dredge, Steinmeier Crossing for a broken end section, and then the Charles Brier to put some things down to alleviate some erosion that we've had there.
I'll make a motion that we approve claims for 8/19/26 for $8,605 and for 9/2 for the amount of $248.08 as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the claims presented for 8/19 and 9/2 in the amount of $8,605 on the 19th and $248.08 on the 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Let's do number 6, which the agenda that I have is the old agenda. So, but number 6 is Kyle Engelking brought in, is requested to be to help trap beaver for us. Right now, Rusty Fields is the only trapper that we have. We used to have a trapper up in Anderson, and he ran into some health issues. And so Kyle this is his insurance and his wild animal control permit or nuisance license that he has. He would be charging $150 a beaver to do that, which is right in line with what we do now.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Go out and hunt those
And,
things.
and if any of you want them relocated to your property, he will do that for free. But that is the proposal there to accept Ingle King Outdoor Adventures LLC. And he did not catch the lion, just so you know. So
We need a motion for that?
I make a motion that we approve Kyle Engelking for beaver trapping, noting that he does have his certificate of insurance and everything else is.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the beaver trapping for Kyle Engelking. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We may want to get with Kyle. I noticed here that his
I got it.
wildlife license expires on 12/31/26, just to make sure we get the updated one at that time. A nuisance animal control permit.
I suppose that's the whole deal. You can't just,
It is, because I used to have one.
That's a year.
that's what I,
Go get a new one.
Oh, just automatically? But I just,
Well, it won't be
what I'm saying
automatic
is
yet.
be what we need.
getting ridiculous, some of this stuff.
All right, let's take number 5 on your list. So there's a telecommunications company that is coming in, and instead of putting the entire plans in your packet, which was pretty immense, they are going from 800 west to 400 west along 200 south, and then from 400 west and 2 south to 100 south. So they are going 6 miles, putting in a telecommunications line on through the right-of-way of the road. So they are staying within the right-of-way. But as they cross through that right-of-way, you can see on the aerial here, we got Oakwood. They cross Briar Creek. There's pipe crossings in Knowlton Estates. There's pipe over at Briarwood. They cross Doe Creek. They get over across where Centennial comes across, comes down through there and across the north end of that ditch as well. And then that's where they go through. So there are a total, as we looked at them from them, there are a total of 3, 6, 7, 8 crossings where they are crossing as they're going through there.
What utility are they putting?
That is a telecommunications line.
Is
It's a fiber line.
Is this a subcontractor for them, or I never heard of these people before?
I do not know. So all I know is the people that brought it to us and signed the paper. So US Signal, I think, is the people who are doing it, is the name of the main company from Grand Rapids, Michigan. People doing the work for them are the people like Homestead company that is Surveyor Power and Communication out of Ohio. US Signal out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So
Is that kind of odd? I guess. Because, I mean, you would think if that was NineStar's territory, that's who would be doing it.
well, it all.
I don't know how it
That's
works.
not NineStar's territory, I don't think. I think that's. I'm not sure. I don't.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm using that as an example.
I don't know.
That because we don't know who these people are really.
Technically, no. I don't know eventually who the end people are who are doing this. I imagine it's their power and communication.
What is your plan for crossing this as far as quality control? They don't go through the pipe, crack the pipe.
So we changed our application here at the beginning of this year, and to make sure, we learned some things with the gas line that was coming in from the north. And so on our application, if there is a for them. So there's their application, there's their harmless. At the bottom here, okay, we have our things of separation for where they need to be, for what needs to be put in for backfill in different cases. We are requiring now as-built drawings of each location, so that way they are where they're at. There is also a point in here where they are supposed to notify us when they are starting work. so we can come out and verify where they're at and what they're doing. Show us existing elevations, where they're at, their topos are running through there, because we know that not everything they're going to run into is going to, GIS isn't perfect for where it's at.
Then they're boring, right?
Yes, well, in most places, they are boring. Some places, they're going to open cut. The first time I got the plans, they were going to be 4 feet deep, which for all of us, if you understand drainage, that's about the depth most tiles run at. So we had a conversation with them about that. So when they brought their plans along, they are now, they need to make sure that when they cross the pipe, they have on their plans that they are, they're going to expose the utilities for directional bore and plow underneath of them. And then they are keeping with our hold harmless that we have, where if it is a tile, they are to be 2 feet below where they're going to be. If it's the open ditch, they're going to be 7 feet below the bottom of the pavement for where it's at. Originally, the plans were 10 feet from the bottom of the bridge, and we're just going to run 4 feet through. The other thing that I also put on here, they have to show a note in how they are going to connect any private drains that they run into as they run through there. And, if they're only running 4 feet, they're going to hit a number of private drains, even if it's in the right of way as they come through there. So we want to make sure that we're protecting the landowners. I know as a drainage board, we really don't have a say over those private drains that are there. But if those plans are coming through, I want to make sure that they understand if they're going to hit drainage tiles, that they're going to fix them as they come through that. So the big thing there for the as-built will be really interesting for them to get that done and to have to come out and verify each spot that they have for the drains and to get where they're at. So that's the quality control we're looking to put in for that. So
Do we need a motion for every crossing, or can we do it in lump sum?
As long as Corey's able to record it, if you approve them as presented.
And a fee for each crossing?
there's a $500 fee for each crossing.
Make sure that's clear in your motion.
I move that we approve several utility crossings by Thayer Power and Communications at 400 West to 800 West along 200 South with a standard county hold harmless for each crossing and a standard county fee for each crossing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the request from Thayer Power and Communications to cross, what'd you say, 7, 8
Several.
Eight crossings.
crossings from 400 West to 800 West along 200 South with the standard county hold harmless and $500 fee for each crossing. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Gary?
And you're going to be, they're going to notify you each time they cross one. So
And then you and your staff will monitor and make sure they're in compliance with this.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Number 7 on your list here, this is the Atchinson's. This is 4805 West, Jamestown Trace. This is Centennial North. This is 500 West, just north of 200 South, so just north of what we were talking about. So newer subdivision here on the top. Here on the regulated drain, this line is not there. There is no line that is right here. So that is an error in GIS that we are getting fixed. There is a pipe that is coming out over here on the side for what's that. They are looking, and you have in your packet, they approached our office about being on drainage board to put a fence around their property. So they would like to go from the back of their house to their fence, to their property line and back out. There is a 20-foot drainage easement on the back of their property. And they would like to be able to put the fence all the way around and in there. Now, from that standpoint, there are 2 issues. So one, the first issue is We have no pipe in that area for where that's at. Now, that is where the pond comes up. So that drainage easement is for the maintenance of the pond, okay? That, we don't maintain the pond. That is the homeowner association that will maintain that pond for where they go from that. So, there's part of that for that standpoint, that pipe that goes there. Now, the pipe that runs out through here, you are a good 20 feet away from their corner of their property for where that pipe is, where that easement is. So they're outside that, but it's still in this drainage easement that's here. So it's going to be a regular 4-foot fence, so chain link with cemented posts that will go in the ground. That is there. So from my standpoint, it's kind of one of two, right? We should never be in there unless the county ever takes over the ponds in that subdivision. I know I will fight that as long as I am the surveyor. I do not think we should be taking care of the ponds in subdivisions. There are surveyors who have done that and taken that over in subdivisions, but I think the ponds themselves should be the issue of the homeowner association and the communities. But that's a conversation for a different day. The drainage easement that is there is for the maintenance and the ability to work on that pond and to do those things. So,
How much room do they have behind the fence to the pond?
it's a drop off there. So to a normal pool, you have about 15 feet, 18 feet, somewhere in that neighborhood. To where
Outside the fence?
but it's going to be on a hillside, right? And so, the issue is, from reading from a homeowner association, if you're going to dredge that pond or clean that pond, just access to get in and around. Now the trail, there's a little trail that comes in here on the side, is where they may access it. They could access it through here to get in there to dredge that pond, because at some point that pond will need to be dredged, right? I mean, that's
So are we willing to do it for all the homes there?
what's that?
Are we willing to do it for all the homes there?
We're not dredging their pond at all.
No. I'm talking about allow all the homeowners
Well,
to
that's
take
the
up
other-
that easement.
That's up to
the
the
other-
HOA. We're just worried about our pipe to the right of it.
Right.
That's it. What's the HOA stance on that? Are they going to allow potential fence in there? I feel like we ought to have
That's
the
fine.
HOA say what they're going to do before
I
we
can
even
reach
make any
out
decision.
to them from that standpoint, absolutely.
Yeah, that's, seems like homeowners ought to take care of
The
this. not-
cart's kind of before the horse here with
Yeah.
that. Just the
That's
HOA.
fine. I mean, I just, and I think, that would be a caveat. I imagine the homeowners association wouldn't allow them to do it if they told them they weren't allowed to do it, they wouldn't be allowed to do it anyways. So I think they were looking at, if we got the county approval, then we could go to the homeowners association and ask them whether one to do it. Because
The
it's-
local authority is the HOA first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow the chain of the
Yeah.
way
Drainage board, the easement is our easement.
it is, but they're controlled by an HOA, and then you move your steps up through there.
That's
So
fine.
I just almost feel like they're kind of trying to do an end run around their HOA by coming to the
Getting our
county
approval,
and saying,
yeah.
hey, we got approval.
Yeah,
Let
and
us do
I
that.
don't, I mean, I'm perfectly fine.
I would say we table this
I do too.
until after we hear,
We
let
just
them deal
tell
with their
them-
HOA first.
Yeah, they need to come back to us with approval from their homeowners before we consider it.
I'm
Does
trying
that sound right?
Yeah,
to think if that has a HOA yet or not.
I'm sure it
A lot of
does.
those houses are brand new, so
Well,
it might still be under the.
The developer more or less runs that HOA.
Right, that would be, Rogers.
I make a motion, we table this.
Second.
Okay, that is perfectly fine.
Been moved and seconded that we table the encroachment for drainage easement fence for Hannah Atchison, Jamestown Trace, Centennial North. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right, I have one more that didn't get into your packet. It was brought to me, and this on me, this slipped my mind as we were doing things. So this is a subdivision off 1,000 North. This is the Kirby Minor subdivision. Our 1,000 North and 50. Where are we at, Mike?
I knew you were gonna ask that.
It's near 50 West.
That's what I thought. So, 1,000 north and 50 west. So there's a dividing line right here. No drainage per se for the county standpoint that goes through there. They do have in this field to the east, there is a existing 6-inch field tile that runs through here. And they are looking to build a house here and put a septic on it. And they would like to have a variance to run 6-inch tile. Run a 6-inch tile to the 6-inch tile. From there, would you be running a 6, Mike, or would you run a 4 from your septic?
I would say a 6-inch from the perimeter drain.
So 4-inch perimeter drain, and then 6-inch from here to tie into existing 6-inch field tile that is here. And if I remember correctly, that land is all owned by the same person.
Okay.
So they would be getting an easement from the same person who has that tile that is in that field.
Is it a good working tile?
There is a good working tile there, yes. That's a 6-inch tile. Field tile.
Well, you can dig up plenty of them that are half full of dirt too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a working 6-inch tile. The people who are selling the ground for the house are the people whose tile they would be tying into.
okay.
It's not like it's a, adjacent landowner who doesn't, they understand the responsibility of tying it into their own system. There's a request for a variance for that, so there's a.
I moved we approve the variance from 8-inch to 6-inch for the Kirby Minor sub on 1,000 north with the standard county fee.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the variance from 8 to 6. Oh, you just took it away. Kirby
Minor sub. Yep, Kirby minor sub.
Kirby Minor sub. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. Again, I would like to thank those who went to the drainage school at Indiana Farm Bureau. I think there were some good things on there. I think some things were where they were. There were some things for lawyers and some people for other things, but there were some good things on there for the drainage board as well. Talked about encroachments, talked about some right-of-way, talked about some different things that are there. I thought were very good. Talk about dealing with drainage and issues that are there.
And our Farm Bureau archives those too, so you
Yes.
can go back and
Yeah,
take a
you
look.
can go back and watch those. So those are, and they're good discussions. So, and they give you a glimpse of what's happening throughout the state, but also what's happening at the State House, what's happening in drainage in other places, and ways to understand it and be able to make it work a little bit better. So,
I did enjoy the one speaker, the one from Illinois, the professor. You could tell he was enthused about what he was
He
talking
loves
about.
phosphorus, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves
My
phosphorus.
goodness.
Absolutely, yeah, he was, when you think of a college professor, he's probably not the person you think of if you just, in your mind, think of a professor and see him, so.
Yeah.
He's a young, energetic man, so, he, very enthused about that. I think there was a very good discussion on, right-of-way and the use of right-of-way and what you can do in right-of-way, and what you can't do in right-of-way. I thought was very good, especially for drainage standpoints.
And there's not always a right-of-way.
No, they're always a right-of-way, that's right. And just because we have a right-of-way doesn't mean that we can put anything we want in there. So the land is still owned by the people, so. Other than that, I think October 6th is our next drainage board for where we're at. I think that is all I have.
Chad, thank you so much for helping me with that project out on 1,000
We
North.
have
Marcia's got
someone that
something
wants-
to
Has
say.
drainage question, I believe, or recorder question she can answer for us.
There we go.
Well, we heard wind of some conversation about
Yes.
our documents and whether or not they could come up on a search. Mr. Ellsbury is correct. They are a miscellaneous document. However, because all of our documents from 1969 forward have been computerized, digitized, and in the record, a title searcher should be able to bring up any kind of encroachment. Those are tied, providing the proper legal description is provided, they are tied to that property, that real property. So a good title searcher should find it. If not, that's on their title insurance. So I just wanted to kind of clarify some of that conversation about whether the encroachments and those type of documents could be found. They can be found in the record.
Okay, so they will automatically know that that encroachment is there. So, I mean, how good
It's
is,
up to the title company, right?
how long is that insurance good for? I mean, as far as a homeowner's concerned?
I was going to say, title insurance companies vary and it does vary on how they search. A good searcher does their due diligence and searches by legal description. Of course, that does depend on the legal description being accurate on the document and so forth. So, but yeah, they should have cross-references like to the plats, for instance, things like that. Surveys are cross-referenced. So they should be able to capture it. As far as how long the insurance goes, I have no idea, but I know that generally speaking, unless they're doing like an old school bond or something like that, searchers don't typically go longer than a 50-year search, but they could. I mean, there's some searchers that go back to patent deeds, so.
So is it legal description or parcel number?
Legal, we do not index by parcel.
Okay.
Parcel numbers can change. They have changed in this county,
So
so.
what if it's a piece of property that is split and it was on the original parent tract? Does it also get moved over to the piece that was split off of that?
With a document like that, when you're splitting, a survey has to be recorded, and that survey then has to have a reference to the deed, like where it came from. So
Okay.
they would find it in something like a deed search then.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Marcia. That just means I'm old because I remember going back and searching through that miscellaneous index book before it was online. But
Yes.
to answer your question, all we can do is and you can back me up, once we put it into the public record, that is our end of our involvement.
We're doing everything we
It's everything we
can.
can do. It's up to, as Marcia said, the title search and the home buyer. You can back me up, but once we put it in the public record, that's our actual notice that we've put it out there. You're forewarned.
And I did a quick search before we came down, and your documents that Cory brings up to us, they all have legal description, so they all have something tied to it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do we need to go back and revisit that today, or you want to leave it? at all?
Well, I can go back to the next meeting and just say, guess what? They all are doing the same thing.
Then do that. So we don't need to go back and revisit it.
We are probably going to modify our language just a little bit, just to clean up a few of the old verbiage that we had used, so it's crystal clear that it's upon successors assigns, sort of like the HOA under your requirement, hey, I bought this, I certify, I saw these, and then you say, oh, I never saw that. Well,
Yeah.
it's in the record, that's all we can do, so.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Been moving seconded that we adjourn the September 1 Drainage Board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Thank you, Chad. Hey, Dusty, can you have
Good morning. First item I have on my agenda, get you guys caught up. I have the SMIC 369 for pavement markings. We did a bunch of pavement markings up in the Buck Creek area. Ms. Scheidler has inspected them. We find them acceptable for acceptance. They're pretty squirrely. We had to adjust some of them, but made all the adjustments and fixed some things that were. We had some very tight lanes out there, but that all got corrected.
Okay, do we need a motion on this?
Motion to
Okay.
approve for project T.
Very good, okay.
That's a strike.
I make a motion that we approve the SMIC number 639 from the Indiana Department of Transportation on contract T-46017 for striping on roads.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the Indiana Department of Transportation report on contract, final inspection, and recommendation for acceptance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. FYI, as you're signing that, Dolina will deliver the check. I believe you guys are cutting checks tomorrow. We'll deliver the check to Miss Dorsey after Dolina gets it for the Jack and Sons property, so that she'll receive her payment, and then you can let Heather know the property transfer should be arriving to her at some point. So, as always, the auditor team is good. Welcome new members.
Thank you.
Different spots, same members, different spots, right? I look forward to you guys keeping me out of trouble for years to come. Will depend if I get fired or not. Culvert installation is about 50% complete. We got $886,000 in billing remaining. We did submit for the FEMA. We were able to get help with the emergency management, and we submitted through NDOT as well. I don't know if we had enough damage to qualify for anything, but we're going to submit. We're going to try. We didn't have any roads closed or damaged, so I'm grateful for that. So all that money you've given me over those years for hardening things is paid off. But
Did we get reimbursed for hours worked for our guys being out?
we have that in there as well, clearing
Okay,
the
all right.
debris and stuff. For Ann works on the bridge, like inspected a bunch of bridges. I put all that in there to try to get reimbursed. They had like a $300,000 men floor.
Oh,
We
okay.
couldn't quite get there,
Okay.
which is good. We didn't have that much damage, but bad. We're not going to get reimbursed.
Yeah.
But we don't lie, so I can't just add
That's
stuff to it, so. I went on a field trip on the 26th over to Columbus, Ohio. I've sent you information on that, so if you ever want to ask me about that, hit me up on it. Check out some of the things. Mark Elder as the FEMA disaster, and I misspelled that, Askin, as I was talking about with Ann. Grant applications, we have one bridge, that's 2 south over Sugar Creek. We've got 3 north from 4 west to 3 west in there for grant applications. You'll be seeing these soon. I'm just giving you a heads up. If you have any other ideas for grants, let me know. Try to do them, but I think these are our most competitive ones. Roundabout at 300 south and 200 west. I've got that one in as well versus some other smaller grants throughout the area. We're always trying to chase different intersections and stuff. Next item, we had a 600 north fatality. It's tragic. A young gentleman from Indianapolis was driving, it's a runoff road right, which is one that concerns me the most, which is why we've increased our painting so much. The gentleman just got a little bit excessive in his speed, it appears, and hit a tree when he got off the road. It's very tragic. We're analyzing everything out there. Like all our roads, it's widening roads costs money, and we have a limited budget. So we'll investigate that, check against all other runoff road rights to see if there's anything. The road's fine. The road meets all its criteria, but obviously the wider the road, the safer it is. It's just a matter of money. So we're not going to have a fatality-free year, unfortunately. Maybe next year. Next month, we'll do RFP for microtransit services. I can RFP it, then we might not be able to do it. I know that project, they're working on it. I can still RFP it, and you don't have to accept anything in the RFP. So, should I RFP the microtransit services so people can at least ask, so at least you have the option at the end of the year, or do you want me not to bother? You don't have to accept an RFP. You don't have to do anything with it. I can put it out there and you don't accept any of it.
Throw it out and see what
I can
happens.
put it out, and then at least you have the option. If you don't want to do it, if it's just not going to work out, we can not do it. But if we don't put it out, then you've decided right now you're not going to do it. So they give you more time to make a decision, which I'd always recommend delay tactical patience. If you don't have to make the decision now, put it off if you don't have to. So I'll put that RFP out.
I did talk with Thomas with Greenfield Council about the senior services, and it's
I understand.
it's where it is. It's where it is. They've got it. I think they'll approve it, but
Okay.
still wait and see.
Okay. I do think it's a decent program, but if we can't manage it, then we just can't manage it. We'll have
Yeah.
to- and that doesn't mean we can't bring it back to life later.
Yeah.
Okay. Microsurface and chip surface, we got about one more month left. Just so you know, all the microsurface in the neighborhoods, we do have street sweeping lined up in the fall. We're going to let some of the raveling come off first. We don't want to street sweep it like 4 times. We'll let it all come off and then sweep it up. So if anybody calls in and asks about that, we got a plan. It'll come in the fall and get it picked up. We're exploring a contract for specific maintenance on 6 West. So we have a lot of our guests come through the county there and businesses come through the county. And I know we're a county highway department, so like I always say, we're not really into aesthetics because we're short on money. We receive the least amount of money over, the towns and cities are above us and then the state's above that. I am debating setting up, it's a $20,000 or $30,000 contract to be paid through RDC just to maintain 600 West to keep the weeds, things picked up a little bit more than what we're doing. We go out there and we get a chance, but we're chip sealing and paving and doing all the stuff. Keeping the potholes away is our primary objective. So you might see that come through. It's not a huge contract, but it'll be small. It'll be paid through RDC, just FYI. I like the contractor we met. I thought the guy's pretty good. So I'm leaning towards contracting that in September with permission from the RDC.
Okay, thank you.
The site property on US 40. So there is an obstruction. If you look at the other side, we've done all the investigation. We had all the state guys out there and all the county guys out there. And yes, it's a private tile. And yes, it's in state right away. So I'm bending all the rules, but we're not breaking any rules. We've got the site identified. I'm going to work with the state and see if they're willing. It's a private tile, so it's not one they built. I'm going to see if I have enough charisma to get them to dig it up and fix it. If they say they won't, then I'm going to ask you guys if you're okay with me contracting it. I think we've got it down to the section. It's right here behind this. The thing is between this house and this guardrail. It's in a tight spot. I really don't want my guys working in there. But I think if we remove that obstruction, that the drainage there will work markedly better.
Well, every time I drive by there after sometimes even a minimal rain, their whole lot is flooded. And then the big rains up to their porch, front and backyard.
Well, I'm a civil engineer, so the health and well-being of the public is above all other considerations. So even these rules and stuff about jurisdiction and stuff, I think it's going to get onto the road or cause a public hazard, I have no problem authorizing that work. But I do have to let you know that I'm authorizing work outside my jurisdiction if I'm going to do that.
Perfect.
But I only do that if I honestly think it could harm someone in their home or harm someone on the road. I don't do that lightly. This might be one of those situations. We'll see if the state goes into that. But I would like to dry that area up. It is US 40, so getting those northern lanes flooded would be dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly I don't want people flooded in their homes as best we can help. Now, it's not our responsibility to drain yards, but we'll try to help if we can. Especially yards along US 40. It's not our road. I need 2 of the 3 commissioners to tell me what you'd like me to do at some point. Bill's told me what he would like done on the ditch on 2 South, 6 East. I
Repair.
need the other 2 to tell me what you
Dig
want
it
me.
out, do riprap.
Got it? All right, I got it. I'll instruct my guys to do that when we get free
Yeah.
from our current work, and we will circle back around, and we're going to go back to what it originally was. But it's okay. It's been a fun exercise.
When you do, will you reach out to her, let her know that you guys are coming out to do that?
Yes. Yes, I just need to get the okay. I need to get the direction. I do work for you. So.
I'll make a motion,
I
we
think
let
it's the
you,
honorable thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's where we started.
Yeah.
We tried all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it turns out where we started is where we should have been.
Sometimes you just have to do your job, and that's it.
I would
Yep.
just make a motion,
No,
we
it's
allow
fine.
Gary and his crew to go out to Miss Wilbur's house at 600 East and 200 South and
Install a riprap ditch.
install a riprap ditch.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor to
That makes it easy
install
for me.
riprap, dig the ditch out and install riprap out 200 South and 600 West, or East. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
I have direction from the commissioners. It'll be done. That is all I have for this morning, barring any questions.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank your people for taking care of us during all the rain.
Will do. They're getting all thinner. It's so hot. I was joking with them. I pay for the employees by the pound. They're all getting thinner on me. It is hot out there. So we have rolled back production a little bit. You know me, I'm a kind of a tyrant about getting so much work done. But I've backed off a little bit in the recent weeks. It's been hot.
It has been.
Like, we have enough here. We can slow down. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
No.
Thank you.
Cory Taylor. And just where you guys know, I did ask Cory to find a contractor to go ahead and pull the carpet out of the offices in community corrections and get those offices ready for occupation.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we've still got like 600 in the 2021 bond specifically for community corrections, so, okay.
With that too, Gary, one thing that I thought of after speaking with you is we may want to include John Jocannis on that, just to ensure any door controls
Okay.
can be retrofitted to what we have existing.
What do you have?
First thing I've got for you is an estimate from Sinorama. This estimate is number 24352. This is to install signage at community corrections. Per Morgan Walker's review of the proposal, this is what she would like to have. The other thing that needed to be done was an apostrophe on the S at the prosecutor's office. So they're going to throw that in there for free. Proposal is to add a sign in the grass area in front of 123 East Main, Hancock County Community Corrections. To install that sign, install an address and permanent letters up on the building, and to fix that apostrophe on the prosecutor's sign. The total amount for this bid is $4,771.41. My suggestion is the 2021 GEO bond.
Yep.
Make a motion that we approve in the amount of $4,471 payable out of the 2021 GEO bond.
4,771.
Yes.
771, I apologize.
It's okay.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second on the floor to approve estimate 24352 for community corrections in the prosecutor's office, and the amount of $4,771.41. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do you need me to sign this one?
There's nothing.
I'm sorry.
Do I need to sign that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there
you
is
go.
one back there, I'm sorry.
No problem. We're good.
The next proposal I have is from Klamath Construction. This is for community corrections to install carpet that we will provide. We still have plenty of material in the basement, brand new stuff. This is to provide carpet through the hallway to get back to the conference room for a total cost of $4,675.
And where do we want to take that? Is that from
Also the 2021
2021?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the Klamath Construction carpet installation in the amount of $4,675 payable from the 2021 GEO bond.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the carpet installation and community corrections payable for the, from the 2021 GO bond as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
The next thing I've got for you is the RFP for cleaning.
Yep.
I've learned a lot through walking through with contractors. With speaking to them and with what we're looking for and what we need to happen, there could be a substantial increase. I did let Commissioner McDaniel know. I think I did let you guys know. We may need to go back and ask for additional appropriations after we open these up. I don't know what it's going to be. I've kind of discussed what we currently are receiving.
Go ahead and just.
So just so you guys are aware.
We've kind of been receiving the bare minimums, have we not?
Yeah. If that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I get that,
Oh.
yeah.
So just be aware of that. I'm assuming that after we open those, we'll make that determination and I'll have to go to council.
Okay.
The other thing is, I spoke with Commissioner McDaniel, the time capsule, we're going to work on getting that set up. I think it was the 29th, Saturday.
26th.
Saturday.
But you're going to do it
26th.
on the 25th because you don't have to have any overtime on that.
Correct. Which I'll come in on the day of, but I'm going to have contractors go ahead and, I believe the city's going to help us out with a vac truck, so we're not digging a big hole with an excavator or something up on the courthouse property. Have the vac truck dig a 3 to 5 foot hole and then have soil up there ready to go back into it, put a steel plate over it. And then that Saturday, once the capsule is placed, we'll fill the hole in, remove the steel plate, and we should be good to go.
We can
So there
just
will
stick
be
the plate back over it and you can do it Monday morning. And that's what I would do.
Yeah, the plate would be there temporary just to, and I'll cone it off just for precautionary purposes.
Have you gotten hold of 811 yet?
Who's that, I'm sorry?
811?
No, I need to get I need to get in contact with the city with the vac truck to make sure that that is going to be an option. I need to make sure that they'll be able to reach where we would like this placed, determine where we want to put it. Once we find that out, I'll get on that first thing.
I'll get a hold of you after the meeting.
Okay. Other than that, that's all I've got. I think the elevator parts are still being built. I asked for an update on that. Unfortunately, it's just a slow process. Once that stuff is complete, they'll let me know, but we're still kind of in a holding pattern on the courthouse elevator.
So have they started it? Is that what it is? Or
They've started manufacturing, so the unfortunate thing with that is the controls for that system are so old that had to be built. There's nothing off the shelf. It's custom made, custom designed. So once I receive that, I will let you guys know. But
all right, thank you.
as of right now, that's all I've got for an update on that.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Cory.
Kayla Brooks.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this morning I have, let me introduce as well Lainey Stump. She's our consultant working with HWC and Civic Blueprint. They have completed our UDO. This is once again just a basic kind of adoption draft that merges together the subdivision control ordinance and zoning ordinance with no content changes at this point. This is finishing pretty ahead of schedule, so we are very pleased to be here today. We really didn't receive much, really any public comment except for, notice of a typo or two, things like that. This does need to still go to the towns of Shirley and Spring Lake and have their town councils adopt it. Following that and your adoption of this document, there will be a notice of adoption that'll be published, and then the document will be official. So,
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions for either me or Lainey?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Need an ordinance number, 2026-. I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2026-9A, an ordinance amending Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances of Hancock County, Indiana, to repeal chapters 155 and 156 and adopt a unified development ordinance.
Second. And then suspend the
And the
rules on the
rules.
day of introduction.
Okay. Make a motion to suspend the rules
The day of introduction.
on the day of introduction.
Second. And there's a motion and second on the floor to suspend the rules on the day of adoption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We have a motion and second on the floor to, for ordinance 2026-9A, an ordinance amending Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances of Hancock County, Indiana, to repeal chapters 155 and 156 and adopt a unified development ordinance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Hey, before you go on to your next thing, I did notice in our packet, we had an executive session minutes that we did not approve.
Thank you.
So let's,
Yeah, let's approve those, shall we?
I'll just go ahead and make a motion. We
Sure.
approve our executive session meeting minutes from our August 25th, 2026 meeting as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and second on the floor to approve our executive session minutes from August 25. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Sign that one.
Yeah,
He left.
I'm just going to put this in your packet for Gary Poole.
and we have a meeting lit ordinance.
Hold off on that until 9:30 and
Yep.
then,
So
make a motion, we approve claims and payroll as presented.
Second.
motion motion and second on the floor to approve claims and payroll. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Auditor business. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I have several things, so I'm sure I can take up the rest of the time that we have. First item I have is a request to pay some Amplify bills. In order to be consistent, we thought it might be a great idea to go ahead and do the same type of a cover sheet that we sent when the bills were going to Argent. So we've created a cover sheet that would be signed off on, so that, just so we can still continue to track and have our internal controls and process for that. So we just need to approve the current Amplify bills. We have one from Commercial Office Environments, COE, for $318,857.79, and then another invoice for Meyer Najum for $92,077.20. So I'm going to pass that down
Okay,
for.
we don't have that in our packet.
No,
Okay.
no.
Very good. Okay. I make a motion that we approve all requests. You want me to mention the dollar amounts again
You can.
from,
The second page is a cover page.
okay.
That has the totals.
Oh, very good. Schedule A, the commercial office environments, $318,857.79, and Meyer Najum in the amount of $92,077.20, with a total amount of $410,934.99.
Second.
We have a motion and second on the floor to allow the auditor to go ahead and pay these bills as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item. The weed specialist is asking for a budget transfer, and since his budget is located within your budget, we wanted to get approval. Dean would like to transfer $1,000 from his supplies line into his payroll line, and then $1,000 from his chemical line into the payroll line. So that'd be a total of $2,000, just due to all the rain and all the weeds that he's been handling. He's been working more hours. So if I could get approval for that budget transfer, that would be great.
Move that we approve $1,000.
Second.
Motion and a second on the floor to approve the transfer of $2,000 for the weed control manager or head. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, next item. I have a payroll change form for the HR director. She had originally hired in at a probationary salary, and I believe that probationary period is long over. So I would like to get an approval to go ahead and put her at the full salary ordinance amount. That will change her biweekly. So I've got a form here that would need to be signed. But we also need to know an effective date for that.
Just read that real quick here.
When was her,
What was her 90-day, what was the 90-day?
Do you know that, Andrea?
can we backdate it to then?
We can.
I make a motion that we adopt a payroll change for our Director of Human Resources in her salary.
You don't want to set it back to 3/23. That's when she hired in. It's going to be
5/23.
90 days.
5/20.
No. 4 or 5, like 6/23.
6/23.
Because that would be the 90,
Okay.
90 days.
6/23.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the payroll change for our HR Director, Andrea McLaughlin, moving her pay rate to $3,238.58 biweekly, retroing that back to June 23rd of 2026.
Second.
There's a motion and second on the floor to approve the new pay scale or new pay for our human resources person, backdated to July 23 and
June 23.
June 23, as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I do have one more quick item. We have some invoices from MS Consultants. They handle the county farm plan. Those invoices total $62,419.07. This is just a reminder that tomorrow at the budget meeting, we need to talk to council and ask them where they would like these to be paid from. So I will hold on to that and give you another reminder at tomorrow's meeting.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
That was easy. You want to go ahead with the 9:30?
Yes, we will. So, does anybody presenting on that? I don't have anybody on here.
Scott, do we need to recess our meeting at all for the?
I don't think you have to recess, but you want to open.
Open up a public meeting?
Public meeting.
Public
Okay.
hearing.
Then I will open up a public hearing for a lit ordinance. It was advertised for 9:30 a.m. and it is 9:34. So, there it is.
This ordinance is number 2026-8B. It is an ordinance modifying local income tax rates for Hancock County, Indiana. Be it ordained by the County Council of Hancock County, Indiana, that a need now to exist to modify the local income tax rates imposed in the following way. Hancock County's existing taxing rates are as follows. Pursuant to Indiana Code 6-3.6-2, the expenditure rate is the sum of the rates for the following allocations. And existing, this is for, existing lit rate is 1%, staying steady at 1%. Public safety, 0.26%, staying at 0.26%. Economic development, 0.13%, with an increase to 0.18%. Property tax relief remaining steady at 0.25%. Special purpose rate currently is 0.10%, dipping to 0.05%. The correctional and rehabilitation facility will remain steady at 0.20%, and the rest remain zero, existing, zero proposed.
Is there anyone from the public want to speak on this?
Okay. Next segment would be property tax credit allocation categories. Existing percent of revenue, 100%. Proposed, 100%. Residential property and qualifiers for residential property remain at 0%.
Nah?
Anything dealing with property taxes?
So,
Then we have for counties directing a portion of public safety revenue to PSAP. The allocation for public safety in IC code 6-3.6-6, existing at 0.26%, remains steady at 0.62%. 26%. And the local income tax type, existing PSAP rate at 0.06%, remaining steady at 0.06%.
okay.
The maximum expenditure rate that a county may adopt is 2.5% for all counties except Marion County, which is capped at 2.75. So
Is that a motion?
that is a motion.
Second.
Okay. There is a motion and second on the floor to approve ordinance number 2026-8B, an ordinance modifying local income tax rates in Hancock County as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Public hearing was closed.
I make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
To return to our regularly
Yep.
scheduled
We just open it
commissioners
back
meeting.
up. Miriam Rollins.
Okay.
Good morning.
And
So I'm here.
they've donated the whole thing and putting it together and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, so I'm just going to, I didn't put my computer up, but if anybody wants to see this, I'm happy to share it with the people that are here. I'm here to present an item that was favorable, I can't speak, made a favorable motion at our Parks and Recreation Board on August 20th to accept this donation. So NineStar has generously offered to donate this customizable gazebo to be placed at our NineStar Park. And the example shown is not the exact model. NineStar said they would help tailor and design and handle that installation. So the date is to be determined because we do have a $400,000 ITP grant that we will need to make sure we've got our post-approval meeting with them, and I don't want to get into the weeds with that, but I don't have a date to install this until I've got to be mindful of that grant to determine the date of it being installed. So anyway, on the original photo that I gave you, that came from George Polinsky, who I've been working with on this, and that one has a fire pit. We're not going to do that, but we would like to make it really nice. And have you guys seen the utility boxes around that are wrapped like they're really painted decoratively and they're wrapped at different locations.
Yes.
I'm thinking that we could wrap this to save some cost, and George is familiar with that procedure and everything, so we can discuss that. But I'm just here to ask that if you would entertain and accept and approve a donation and authorize the gazebo to be placed on county property at NineStar Park. This particular gazebo.
Make a motion that we approve the gazebo for NineStar Park at no cost to the county, and the timeline for installation is to be determined.
Second.
There's a motion second on the floor to accept the donation from NineStar to be gazebo to be put at Sugar Creek, our newest park, at no cost to the taxpayers. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you on that. I'm also here requesting approval to attend the 2026 Indiana Parks and Recreation Association Conference. This event includes 60 educational sessions, networking opportunities, there's a keynote address, and there's over 100 exhibitors. It's all for Parks and Recreation. I've already applied for a grant for this. Today was the deadline, but I did it back on August 21st, and I'm not really sure when they're going to let everybody know if they've been given the grant to go. That would cover the whole conference registration and one night of hotel accommodation. So I just wanted to know if, first of all, I'm allowed to attend, and if I do get the grant, it would limit the cost, and then if it doesn't, if I don't get the grant, it could be as high as $100 or $1,000. In that case, I'd need a fund number. So will I need to come back after I've been approved, or would you guys entertain just allowing me to attend the conference?
Yeah. Where is this going to be held at?
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne. Okay. Isn't there some training money or something in your budget over there?
I am a board, not a department,
Oh,
so I don't have a budget yet, but you knew that.
surely we've got money
In training.
for training.
Yeah, continuing education, I think there's a line on that. Noting, though, that I will be coming back to ask to go back to Bloomington next year in April, but I just wanted to make you noodle on that because it's.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. I would make a motion that we provide approval for Miriam Rolls on behalf of the Hancock County Parks and Recreation Board to attend the IPRF Conference Scholarship Application in Fort Wayne, Indiana, November 4th through the 6th. She has applied for a grant. The total cost should not exceed $1,000, and we will pay for, if the grant is not approved for Miriam, we will figure out a way to pay for that at the contingent time.
All right, well, thank you very much. I
And you
appreciate
said
it.
you should hear, or no, we should know today?
No, today was the deadline to apply, and I applied on the 21st. So I'm assuming, I can only assume that it would be in the next
An
month.
email or something
That
confirming.
they will let me know if I was a recipient of that grant. So I made a good,
Okay, second.
okay.
The motion is second on the floor to approve Miriam Roller's training on behalf of Parks and Recreation Board, or it's going to be a grant, or it should be a grant, but we don't know. But it'll be, we're going to approve the training anyway, and we will find a way to pay for that if it doesn't get done.
Thank you.
So all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you very much. I
Thank
will
you.
follow up on the
Thanks,
grant
Mary.
recipient information. All right, have a great day.
You too.
Okay. We still got time here. Surveyor bond release. What I'm looking for here. Not it.
We've got a Veritas one in there too for April 5.
Okay.
On the,
Okay, here we go.
you got Veritas?
I got Veritas, yes.
Okay. We have a change order number 10 dated August 11th, 2026. The total amount to be drawn from owner contingency is $221,509. That again, I think is change order number 10. And that is Meyer Najum Construction provided change order 10 for Amplify Hancock, which is an increase to the GMP for materials and work associated with the scope as described below and in the attached change order. And there are monument signs, west sidewalk ramp modification, and bioswale infiltration and stabilization. And that's it.
Second.
Have a motion and second on the floor to approve change order number 10 to be pulled from owner contingency in the amount of $221,509 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and we just have one place for you to
Okay.
double check here. Right there.
Okay.
Next,
Bond.
Bond deposit.
Yep.
We have a performance bond deposit, individuals or business name is MI Homes, located at mailing address 8425 Woodfield Crossing Boulevard, Suite 100 West in Indianapolis, Indiana. The amount of the bond is $8,750, and the bond was posted on July 30th of 2026. The project is Rockport, Section 2, and I believe this says Monumentation
yeah.
Board bond.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to approve the bond deposit in the amount of $8,750 for monument board bond for MI Homes as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have a bond deposit for a performance bond for John
Ripping?
Ripping Construction. The amount of the bond is $25,000. The bond was posted on August 11th, 2026. The name of the project is Tyler Bash Home Site Drainage, Repair and Replace Tile for the home site.
Second.
Motion second on the floor to approve the bond deposit in the amount of $25,000 as presented. Those all in favor say aye.
Aye. And just for the record, that was John Redding Construction, Redding.
Okay.
Bond releases.
Motion carries.
To the side.
Go to our HR director who's here.
Yeah, I think so.
Then on to some.
Oh. I missed that. So, Andrea McLaughlin. Good morning.
I'm just here to let you know that after we publicized the motor vehicle policy, it came to my attention that the sheriff's department and jail staff do not need to be a part of that policy because they already do a comprehensive check, and that would just be a repetitive item. So I need to amend that policy to exclude those roles out at the sheriff and the jail from that policy so that we're not spending money twice
Okay.
on reports that have already been ran.
I would make a motion that we approve our HR director to remove the sheriff's department and the jail officers from the motor vehicle records policy.
Second.
Motion second on the floor to approve the HR director to remove the sheriff's department from the background checks and all that kind of stuff for their driving policy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and get Mark up here.
Mark,
Mark.
can you sign these guys?
Oh. We do not.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
To ratify the local flood emergency declaration we did last week. As part of being able to file for public assistance, one of the things we have to do is file a declaration. As we know, we were very fortunate. We didn't fare near as bad as other counties around us, but we have to file a declaration to even qualify to file for it. So we did that, and this is just to ratify it since it was done outside of a normal meeting.
Whole stack can go back.
Make a motion that we ratify the declaration for emergency, what did you call that? Mark?
Declaration?
Declaration, yeah, declaration for emergency. Flood emergency. There you go.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to approve the local emergency declaration for the rain, the flood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Did you want to?
Yeah, let's do that. We missed this. We are swearing in our emergency preparedness director, so.
I don't think we need a Bible.
Huh?
I
Got one on your phone. There you go.
Raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Mark E. Elder,
I, Mark Elder,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United
Constitution of the State of Indiana against all enemies,
States and the Constitution of Indiana against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic,
I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I will take obligations freely
obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose,
without any mental reservation,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
about to enter.
I do further swear
I do further swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I do not advocate,
that I do not advocate,
nor am I a member of any political party
nor am I a member of any political party
or organization that advocates
or that advocates
the overthrow of the government
the overthrow of the government
of the United States
of the
or the state
or state,
or this state
or this state
by force or violence,
by force or violence.
and that during such time
And during such time
I am a member of the County Department of Emergency Management
that I am a member of the County Department of Emergency Management
and Homeland Security,
and Homeland Security,
I will not advocate
that I will not advocate
nor become a member
or become a member
of any political party
of any political party
or organization that advocates
or organization that advocates
to overthrow the government of the United States
to overthrow the government of the United States
or of this state by violence or force.
or of this state by violence or force.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, Mark.
I do.
Very much.
Hand it back to me.
You guys want to take a quick break and then we can go into the solid waste meeting? Okay.
I move to recess.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor to recess for the solid waste meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
August 25th meeting of the Hancock County Solid Waste Management District.
Today's September 1st, Bill.
Oh, excuse me. It says August. I'm looking at the meeting
Yeah,
minutes.
minutes.
I apologize. September 1st. Can I get a motion about, for the approval of the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Second item up is the approval of David Spencer from the Greenfield City Council to take a seat on our solid waste board, most popular board to be on in Hancock County.
An honor.
I move that we accept David Spencer.
Second.
Okay. Well, there's a motion and a second on the floor to accept David Spencer as our newest board member from the Greenfield City Council. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, so in your packets, after the minutes are is the invoices. And for the month of August, there was an invoice for the contract, fuel expenses, phone expenses. I purchased some supplies for our upcoming collection events. So there was Amazon and Walmart purchases there. I signed up to attend the Association or Solid Waste Management District Conference. So there's a conference fee, and then with that, a hotel. And then I also renewed the membership to the NASFM, which is the Indiana Association for Stormwater Management. That's just a yearly membership fee. For my regular budget, total claims for the month of $6,920.14. And then for the event fund, we did get a receipt from the Greenfield Parks Department. It was their portion of the trash and recycling bins that we purchased. They paid a portion of that expense, so we did get that to come in for $4,458.31. And then I have invoices from Rhonda Cook and Michael Frischkorn for legal services totaling $2,420 from the event fund.
Can I get a motion
Motion to approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the invoices as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, the next page in your packet is my time schedule for August. I'm going to consolidate some of those columns or maybe rework it for next month because it's getting really tiny and it's hard to read. So I'm going to redo that for next month. Easier to read. So I apologize for that. And then I would like to take this time to introduce our Hancock County board as well as our advisory board. Advisory board members, if you could go ahead and stand up, and I'm just going to go across the board, and if you could just introduce yourself, the board members first, and who you're affiliated with, and then I'll go through the advisory board and let them do the same as well. So, Libby, do you want to start?
I'm Libby Wyatt. I'm with the town of Fortville.
Guy Titus, Mayor, City of Greenfield.
David Spencer, City Council, Greenfield.
Bill Spalding, Hancock County Commissioner.
Gary McDaniel, Commissioner.
Janine Gray, Hancock County Commissioner.
Robin Lowder, County Council.
Kennedy, do you want to? You can go first.
Kennedy Lawson, Caldwell's.
Chad Coughenour, Hancock County Surveyor.
Jared Beeson, NineStar Connect. Savannah Riley, City of Greenfield.
Nyla Staples, Town in Palestine.
Bill, Town of Fortville.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, thank you all for coming. I did compile in your packet, the next page, a listing of all those people, and there's a couple that weren't able to make it.
And there are some statutory, I can't say that, statutory, that's the word. Requirements for the advisory board. We are to have 2 joint meetings with the board and advisory board each year. And there are some other requirements as well that we're going to review probably at the next board meeting, I'm assuming, for the advisory board. And,
Do you want to review any of the requirements today, or do we hold off on that?
Let's hold off on that.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, there are statutory requirements for who can be on the advisory board, because the advisory board is there to advise you all. And so the General Assembly in its infinite wisdom decided to make requirements. And so we want to make sure we follow those. And we'll let you know next month where we are on that.
And I did forget to introduce Michael Frischkorn, legal advisor for the Solid Waste District. Okay. So our fall event, I did pass around postcards, but that's going to be coming up very quickly at the end of the month. Be September 26th from 9 to 1. We're going to be back at Greenfield Central Junior High. We're going to utilize their parking lot as well as the youth baseball field parking lot out behind the school. And I'm hoping we're going to kind of restructure it a little bit. So we're going to have our volunteers checking people in, and then they're going to pull forward and then pay either cash or credit card. So we're going to have multiple stations for people to drive through. So I'm hoping that kind of speeds up our process a little bit. And but I am going to be needing more volunteers because we're getting a lot more participation than we have in the past. So if anybody's willing to come out and spend a few hours with us, it's a fun event. You get to meet lots of the county residents. And so if any board member is willing to help us on that day, that would be great. I've already pushed out a request to the advisory board members and some other people that usually help. So I am looking for volunteers. So if anybody's interested, you can let me know. We are also partnering with Greenfield Banking Company on that event. So they are providing the shredding services free of charge for residents. So it'll be really good. So the next on the agenda is the material management plan. So IDEM is offering what they call Swiffer grant. And that is actually a pass-through grant from the federal government to help improve recycling rates. And so they have pushed out the grant applications, and they are due, I think it's September 14th. I have, we started doing this process back in, I don't know, November or December. I think it was November. They had mentioned that they were going to have this grant coming through. I went ahead and proceeded to get quotes from consultants to provide that material management plan for us. And we did vote on a company to provide that, that service back in December, I think, or November, I don't remember which. Anyway, we did approve them, and then they never opened up the grant application process, so it just kind of went to the wayside. Well, they finally did open it up in August, and I contacted our consultant to find out if they were willing to go ahead and honor their quote that they gave us, and they said that they would. And we did vote on it last month for me to go ahead and apply for this grant, and find out later that this is a federal grant, so it's a lot more involved than, you know, my typical grant that I submit through IDEM. A lot more pages, a lot more in-depth questions. I did work on it, and I think I pretty much have it completed, ready to submit. However, being that it is more of a federal grant, I've also found out that they are only going to be selecting 20 of these grants to give out. Typically, the IDEM grants, I don't know that they even have a cap on how many they give out, but this one is limited to 20 organizations, I'm assuming counties, to get this grant. So it's a little more competitive. And so I was wanting to get your approval.
well, actually, let me back up. Originally, the Caramita is the company that we had chosen to do our material management plan. And originally, they had included a $3,000 optional grant support writing to get it submitted. And I went through the grant. I feel like it's pretty well written, not to brag or anything, but I did have a little AI help on that. But anyway, I feel like it's pretty well written. I was asking them if they could reduce that $3,000 expense because, I mean, I pretty much have it done. I just want them to review it, look over it, make sure I didn't miss anything, make sure I answered all the questions and covered all my bases. And so they came back with a revised quote of $500 just to review the application, look over it, make sure, I got all my I's dotted and T's crossed. So I was wanting to know if I could get your approval to spend the $500, or it says up to, or no, it is actually $500, to get their eyes looking at this, to look over this. They are an environmental consulting firm. They've done this for many years. So they're very well qualified to do grant applications for environmental projects.
I'll make a motion that we approve the expenditure as presented.
Second.
There's a motion on the table. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And Bill, I will need to get your signature on that grant application somehow. I haven't figured out how to do that because it's an online application, so.
Does it come in probably a unprotected way where I can sign it and just send it back to you electronically?
I don't know, it's forms that you fill out electronically, so.
PDF? Is it PDF that you just go in and
It's not a
type in?
PDF, it's on their website. So I don't know, I've emailed them, so I'll get with you on
Figure it
that.
out.
And excuse me, what is the value of the grant? What can it be? Is it an up to, or is there a dollar amount?
So the grant is for $20,000.
20,000, I think you
And
said.
our proposal for the project is $32,000. So we
Okay.
won't quite, if we get the grant, we won't quite have it covered.
And what is your competition? Is it the whole state or
The
just
whole
our
state.
district?
The whole state.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we allow President Bill Spalding to sign that
Okay.
when it is available.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the table. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, I'm now going to pass it over to Michael to give our legal update.
Okay, well, this is the exciting part. The real issue, we've been kind of working on looking at the interlocal agreement between the county and the district, mainly because that's kind of a foundational document. It really tells us what we're doing, who's in charge, and how these things work. And it hasn't been updated since, looks like 2008 or so. So we're due for an update because some things have changed since then. And to kind of lead that on, we need some direction from the board as to, what do we want to do moving forward with the director's position. The original interlocal had the director being an employee of the, I think, Purdue Extension, and they were just working here. And then the program coordinator was a county employee. And so that obviously has changed over the years. And so how do we want the director position to be? I think currently Dede is an independent contractor with the district. But that comes with its own set of complications. And so we're trying to figure out what would you prefer to see, what works best for the district as well as the county or whatever other entities may be involved with those interlocals. The reason I'm starting with the director is that is, kind of at the top. That's the only employee. It's probably the most complicated piece of it, figuring out how that works. So we gave you some options, whether she's a county employee, whether it's a district employee, or go and be a contractor with the district or a contractor with the county. Those are the options. If there are other options that you think of, because obviously we don't know everything, I'm happy to take other options if they work better based upon your experiences. So to a certain extent, open up for kind of discussion.
We've been kicking this can for quite some time, and I think it just needs to come to some sort of settlement here. So Dede, I mean, it's not fair to her, not knowing, you know, is she a contractor, is she an employee? So I think we just need to come to a decision and stand on that.
Well, what are your thoughts? I mean, this solid waste management district is not just accountable to the county. It's accountable to the whole, I mean, the county government in general. It's responsible for the whole county, so it responds to the city and municipalities. That's why we have independent people from other places on this board. It's not just all one. So at least I'm thinking probably not a county employee from that standpoint, but probably an employee in some way. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on contractual or full-time to the solid waste management. Probably makes the most sense.
Your suggestion is what, contractor with the solid waste management district? Is that what you said?
She could be a contractor or she could be a full-time employee of the solid waste management district.
That allow her benefits and things like vacation time.
I think I've heard just a suggestion from legal counsel that if we were to get her benefits out of the solid waste district itself, it would be a lot more expensive because we're trying to just get benefits from one person. To where if we approached the council with an interlocal agreement for benefits, we could probably get a greater deal than if she was trying to shop it on her own, or we were trying to shop it on our own to get one person with those kind of benefits. I don't believe the council would probably have any issue with that as long as they knew they were going to get reimbursed for the benefit package. That.
How does this employee in other counties, like Rush County, Shelby County, Marion County? Marion's probably too big to think about, but you know.
They seem to be kind of split. So most, I would say probably majority are probably employed by the solid waste districts. There are some that are employed by the counties, but there are no independent contractors that I have found. Nobody has come forward saying that they're independent contractors.
What are your hopes?
I would like to be an employee. I feel like being an independent contractor opens up a lot of uncertainty and concerns and, you know, insurance issues. And I just feel like it would just be a lot less messy just to be an employee.
And she would become an employee of the board.
Right, of the
department. So the board would give her direction and what she was to her daily duties. And
so basically on our sheet number 2, sounds like what we're thinking and what she's thinking, the employee of the solid waste management district.
But getting insurance or benefits from the county or what?
right, going to them with an interlocal agreement that basically said, can you give the same benefit package that our county employees have to Dede, and the solid waste management district will reimburse you for the cost of those benefits.
Yeah. That'd be good.
It seems reasonable. And the county will just take care of the whole bill then.
Well, they wouldn't have to take care of anything.
No, and then they'll just be reimbursed.
They just get reimbursed for the benefits.
And they're reimbursed only from the county.
The solid, the solid waste district would.
Bill, if we have a, I'm sorry, if we have a district, then do we need to have a rate?
I think that's another question to ask, like bring Greg Garitas into this and get a read on.
Yeah, because it seems to me like right now the county funds it, but then if it's going to be a solid waste management district, for her, it seems like we might have to have a rate.
Might have to have a little more, right, going into that to be. So if I'm hearing this, it sounds like most of the board wants to make, or would consider Dede being an employee with, of the solid waste management district with benefits given by the county through an interlocal agreement, and that we entertain our financial advisor to ask if we do this through the solid waste district, then we ask them about an actual tax rate that goes along with it. Do we need to motion that then? Have you go forward with that as far as putting this together? And
I don't think we're done yet.
okay.
So that's just one point.
Okay.
So the director position, district, I'm gonna refer to it as district because it's too long to say solid waste management district every. So the district, it would be a district employee with benefits from the county via interlocal agreement with reimbursement. We do need to do some research on that to determine what that costs, because it's great to talk about it without the numbers attached. But if the number's too high, then that may change what you want us to do. But we can check into that, and that brings in Greg Garitas's expertise in determining what kind of funding is there if we actually use a tax rate as opposed to the current system of county funding.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we would ask you too, which is the cleanest way to do it?
Yeah.
Is it the rate or county funding?
Yeah. So, okay, so that point, the next, we're kind of looking at the interlocal agreement as a whole. Right now, the district is insured through the county. I don't know if that is something that you want to keep doing or we need to look at separately, or if it's a situation where maybe there is a reimbursement. How does that? Because the nice thing about the interlocal agreement and the statutory authority that is there is that it appears that you can the municipalities and the counties can kind of help out the district where best suited. So we can say, hey, yes, I want to help here in this way, and a local agreement, and it is what it is. So that's what we're trying to figure out, where the best places for county government, et cetera, to help out the district, and how that relationship works. So like insurance has been a big topic about how that works.
Right. So our insurer, the county insurer, Brian Breeze, sent me an email. I just sent it to you because I held off and sent it to legal counsel what that would look like, because I really thought that, well, we have our director who is insured right now, so we're covered by the county. Is she potentially going to get sued if anything happens? Sure, everybody gets named in a lawsuit. That's just the way it is. But until we figure out kind of where we're going, can we say as a board, hey, we want you to get additional insurance, or is what we have enough? I think that all plays into this, the direction we're going.
Yeah, and I think and from my perspective, I'm looking at I think there are some difficulties with having an independent contractor, and that's why it's probably not the best option, because unless you're a larger, especially with the things that we kind of deal with in terms of hazardous waste and things like that. Now, Dede doesn't actually do anything with that stuff, but as we all know, when people start saying things like hazardous waste and things like that, people get all twitchy and go, wow, that's scary. So we want to make sure that Dede's taken care of, and in independent, that's not maybe the best way of making sure that the employees are cared for.
Right.
But that comes back to the interlocal agreement and how that works. So I think the direction you're going with making her an employee of the district makes it easier to work with insurance and kind of moving forward in that way. So that's step one. I think kind of for next, what I'm hearing is we'll discuss the interlocal. There's a couple more things, and then put together a draft for you all to look at, another one, and check with the county as well, like with Scott, and make sure that it's acceptable there, because this is and then we can move that process forward, hopefully quickly enough that we can get everything in a row in the right way, and do it without having to come back over and over again to fix little mistakes. So one of the next things is keeping the controller as the auditor. Is that something that you would want to do? It seems to, that's the discussion point.
Thoughts?
It would probably be the safest and,
Yeah,
you know,
I think so
route
too.
to
There's
take.
internal controls and all kinds of things that
It's
go with
already
that.
set.
I think
and-
so.
Yeah.
So that's a yes.
And then on the insurance side, I think Brian could probably add a lot to this discussion, for what we were just speaking about. Brian Reese, if you want to bring him forward.
I think, though, we just hit on that right now, while we're trying to work out whether she's going to be an employee of us or,
Right,
you know,
right,
contractual.
right,
that-
right.
That's out there until we make sure that is decided. Because Dede is covered for her events through the county right now until make her the solid waste district.
County's covered.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah. So I don't think, so do we have any events coming up before
Yes,
the
at the
next
end
one?
of the month.
At the end of the month. So one way of addressing that in the short term is, I think you've done this before, is getting on, so we have the vendors that you work with for those events and working with them to get you on there as additional insured, I think would help. I think again, this is the difficulty of having an independent contractor and not looking at documents for a really long time. And so making sure that we do it the right way. And so the county's covered, and then making sure that all the people that are handling things are covered with, through the other insurances, I think would, in the short term, be a kind of a Band-Aid solution. It's not a good long-term solution to it. But since you're in the organization of the event, as opposed to, as I kind of said earlier, hauling around batteries and doing all the stuff, that's not what you do, correct?
Correct.
So, she's not going to be filling a vat of something on the ground, hopefully. But that's the difficulty with the insurance piece right now, is that there's this uncertainty about who is, well, I suppose there's not a whole lot of uncertainty at this point with the independent contractor. But that's why we need to get the local in place with the employee, as opposed to a contractor.
Right.
Will that be in place before the event?
Well, the event is on the 26th.
Yes.
Is that right? It would be difficult to do that before the 26th because we don't have another meeting, right? And I don't even have a draft yet, so.
Right. So it's not going to happen before the event. So do we need?
So I guess the question on, for the independent contractor piece, I mean, one option is, I don't know what the cost of insurance is for a single event for Dede. But that could be, wants to reimburse for that instance. That's a possibility as well, since it is a short-term thing. I mean, but I'm not sure what the cost of that would be for a single event.
Can we have Brian come up? Okay.
Sure.
Brian, do you want to come up and speak to the cost of a insurance policy for these, just to get us through this event potentially until we get an interlocal agreement?
Morning, all.
Good morning.
All right, as an agent for the county, I've studied this. I've been watching this evolve, whether I was at the meetings personally or online. And it's kind of been like, you see those shows where who's the father? And we realized Hancock County is not the father of the district, so to speak. It's got to stand on its own. So I, as the county agent, I've set up all kinds of, we got a little motor running on all kinds of risk, loss control, risk management. And one of the things is that bothered me on this was when I found out through that birth that the district stands on its own. Dede's an independent contractor, 1099. We have our own insurance sets for any vendor that comes in. If they give a W-9, they're supposed to give their cert, and we don't have one on file. So I'm a little emotional on this because I've been working really hard on the backside, and with her position as an independent, she's vulnerable. I've given her quotes for her to protect herself under Treasure Island, but I also have given Bill quotes for the county for the solid waste. I know I'm a incumbent with the county as an agent, but in the district being a political board, you guys have the right to get quotes from other agents or whatever, but I've presented a full coverage that even though the main thing is the interlocal, because who is Dede? You haven't even talked about tax ID for the district. You haven't even, the employee structure. The interlocal is this, in my opinion, the best way, and I'm not an attorney, but it simplifies things because then you can pass through, the district can pass through, well, the county can pass through for her work comps. Another thing, Mike, you didn't mention on here, she can get work comp, health insurance, her pay, all of that through that interlocal, and then it will, you can bill it back. It's billable to the district through that interlocal, in my understanding, as long as it's passed, what is it, SC 13-21, as long as it meets all the state guidelines. So, but, you know, we're talking about the county. Bill, you mentioned the county's covered, but it doesn't encompass Dede the way we're set. I presented a site pollution. She needs contractors pollution. I've given her that quote. The same as with the district. It's kind of a contractor role because she occupies, I know it's up for debate, but she occupies a office at Purdue right now, that building. If that changes, she needs a contractor pollution by herself, and then the district needs that as well. So I have all that quoted. I have all three scenarios quoted. And then I think that really, along with the interlocal agreement, on just how I had to present this to underwriting, it's been difficult to get. You have a contractor for a municipality. Carriers will write, if I got Hancock County, I go to carriers that write municipalities. If I got an individual, I go to carriers that write contractors standalone. When you have one person, and that's the other thing I don't like about this, is that it's a one person, one off. Without that interlocal, it's going to be unaffordable for her to get health insurance. It's going to be, I presented a work comp policy for her. That was like $2,100. That's not bad. The auto, we haven't even mentioned that. She's driving a sheriff's car. I don't know if we ran the MVR. I've helped. The county runs MVRs on drivers and things like that. She's an independent contractor, and I don't believe we need an agreement on that. So there's a lot of pieces with the insurance along with the interlocal that I think it can be made real simple. But saying that we can't have coverage for the event, I have policy for the county, I have a policy for her, and I have a policy for the district. So I have all the event coverage that could be in place as of today. It's just, I've been kind of given the impression that it needs to be voted on the board, that you may need to put out a RFQ, and that's fine. So I've had everything kind of ready here in the wings and have watched this develop over time. And I just feel bad for Dede because I've seen her, are you going to be an employee? Are you going to, as this onion was all being peeled out, and it's no disrespect to anybody, even myself, I was having a hard time trying to say, what is the district? When we're finally getting to the point we are today, what is the district? You know, you got a 2002 interlocal agreement that was signed, 2008. It was signed by everybody but the board, and line 9 in the interlocal says for anything to be active, it has to be signed by the board. So do we have one that was ever signed? And then on the Purdue, it expired in 23. So we're kind of, as all this stuff has unfolded, what are our guidelines? And I know that's where Rhonda and Mike have came in to help build one, but the insurance piece should be at the front of the cart, not behind, because I've got all the options. No matter what way, pick a way today, I can say, here's option A, B, C. So you guys want me to say anything else? I'll answer questions, but as a risk manager for the county, I hate to sit back and have to hold all this in. Anyway, any questions?
Did any of the board have any questions?
Can you give us kind of a hint of which would be the most economical and which would be the best coverage? Because those can be two different things.
It's real simple. I gave the commissioners a presentation on pollution. It's 67,000 and some change. I had them add the 630 acres that the county owns, and that's going to be just under 80, I think is the final. I have to verify that, but it did go up, but to get the whole county, all the acres, I wasn't sure how many acres the county had, 630. I checked that with the assessor. Her policy, if she stays independent, hers is around 10 grand, just under 10 grand for everything. The county or the district insurance altogether, and this includes, if we added through the interlocal, added Dede, her package of insurance, workers' comp, all the stuff, auto, goes away. That's around 10 grand that would go away for her. It's 12,000, sorry, 12,000. That goes away for her, and it's 22-ish for the district, and that would give you, through Tokyo Marine, you would have GL, you would have, she does a lot of school work with kids, 128 presentations a year. You need abuse molestation. Hate to say that, but in the world we're in, we need to protect her for that. It gives her professional in the event that she talks to a business in town and they say, hey, I've got a 55-gallon antifreeze drum, what do I do with it? She can advise on stuff like that. It gives her the professional. It gives her auto coverage. It gives her workers' comp. Everything top to bottom I have for her. And so really for 22 grand a year, I'll just say 25. The district's protected. If the interlocal goes through where she's an employee and she gets her workers' comp, her benefits, her payroll, all that directed through there, then that saves her having to do it on her own. And everything I've read on interlocals, that's a common practice to pass that through. The county sends a bill to the district. Here's what we paid her for her salary. Here's what we paid her for work comp coverage, her benefits. The other thing that scares me to death is that the county, we moved to a self-insured retention program. So while we're hanging in this limbo, if Dede had an auto accident, the vehicles are $50,000 is our deductible. We moved our liability deductible to $300,000. So the district's budget, I saw, just went to $179,000. If she had a serious accident, boom, we could wipe out $300,000, and that's twice her budget, basically. So the county's kind of in peril in this moment. And when I talked to Dede, I said, here's everything. Let's see what the board says. I have a policy for her because she's scared to death in her role. And Janine mentioned it earlier, the can's been kicked down the road for a minute. I'm here to help in whatever way you want. Or I'll even, if you guys have another agent in mind, I'll share that with what I have to where they can give you quote or whatever. I just want to get it from the county perspective. I've been hanging out here for a minute, and it's we just need to get it. We need to get something done on it. But sorry.
But she's covered by the county. She's just not covered personally, is it?
The county's covered.
County's covered.
But Dede's
She's not covered.
Personally.
And she's in violation of our contractor agreements we post on the internet for vendor requirements, unfortunately. I mean.
So I think it'd be better just to have her as an associate, an employee. And we give the benefits to her, because I mean.
For
the insurance
short
cut-
term,
But what he's talking about is, what do we do in the short term? I think
we could have her write, she's ready, she told me, Brian, after the meeting, I'm going to sign it because I need to get my coverage. And I told her, you can go other agents, whatever, and she said, Brian, I want to use you because you know, her and I've talked a lot on it. And so today I can put it on the line where she's got coverage, and then it may be a deal where if the interlocal goes through, and then she gets, the interlocal goes through and she gets to come over as an employee for the district, which I think from a perspective of just how I have to explain to underwriting, the other thing with the contractor, I think there's a law out there or something with if she does that, but how much control do you have? Could she ever pull something else in? I forget the word on it, but I think for the district, she would have to stay solely, but right now she could go entertain she could pick up other work and if she wanted to. So yet she controls the district. So I just think having her as an employee under the district makes the most sense. And then with the interlocal, it's no skin off the county. We're not robbing the county of any funds. It's going to be billed directly to the district. Her funding, like you said, would probably have to be adjusted just to the expense, but it needs to stand on its own and get its own two legs. I've got everything, like I said, with her. We'll have her set up today where she's compliant with the county. And then what you guys decide from there, I just felt it important that I have it either way. If it's standalone and you bring her on, fine. If you don't, we can do that. And the pollution policies, there needs to be 3, one for the district, one for the county, and one for her as an independent. If she comes over to the district as director and an employee through the interlocal, then her policy on pollution could go through. But the important thing about the pollution is that it's also on site. So if whether we go to Greenfield, church, down the road, whatever, we have site coverage. If we go to, as they're hauling it, and Mike said earlier, well, we have our vendors we can use as safety net. Well, if one of those has an accident, we're going to get named anyway. We have the transportation, and then we also have end use in the pollution policies I have. So I have very comprehensive pollution policies that cover us on those bases or levels as well. So, but thank you for letting me speak, because I just felt these are some important pieces that we need to dial in. And, the vehicle, I have a quote for her on that, so she'll have that. The only thing we would need is you guys have to get an MOU of some sort or something that just says, here's permission for Dede to drive the vehicle. And some kind of agreement, a simple agreement is something that she's the director. If we did have a loss, it would possibly be covered, but it would just, somebody's going to go at us and question every piece that we have the way it is right now. So I'm just trying to get those pieces nice and neat where we have everything lined up. So anyway, sorry.
Take a breath.
Thank you.
You did good.
You did great. Hey, Brian, are those policies, even though they run like, let's say 10,000, they're billed at a monthly bill?
We can set them up, and I told Dede, because I don't want her, one of them is minimum earned with 25% minimum earned premium, so she'll have to have it for at least 3 months. And then the other ones we can cancel anytime. And I've had nothing but her best interest. She's been diehard for the county, and I respect that. And so I was just telling her openly, here's our options. This is going to be one thing that if they turn around next month and make a decision, you're going to have that cost, but it's still minimal. The cost is really minimal for what we're doing. And when I talked to the pollution underwriters and people, they were surprised that a county this big and a district budget that small. But so our exposure is not, we don't have landfills or things like that. So as a county overall, our exposure is not great. And on our events, we're only doing around $7-8 grand at the most. Have you been over $8 grand before? No. Like the big events are only bringing in $7,000 or whatever. So in bonds, we just got, we needed her to have volunteers bonded since they're collecting cash, and we just took care of that too. So, or it's being taken care of. So, okay.
So what are your thoughts, board, on entertaining short-term policy for get this interlocal kind of ironed out?
I'd say be the best thing, yeah.
Agree.
3 months, you said we could enact this for.
See, the only problem is that you're
Period
acting
three.
on her behalf. She's an independent contractor. She needs to just say, Brian, I need to go with this. So it's really not something that the district can tell her, other than your requirements, that you need to have this insurance. She's independent to some degree. I know that you said there's a limit of what she can spend on her own, 1,000 or 1,500, whatever, but this is for her personal Treasure Island, DBA DECA
Okay, so
design.
she's going to seek out the funding, not from anybody, not from county or not from the board.
I don't know if she's going to turn around and have to request that back, but that's what I'm just saying. She's truly an independent, and I don't know, like, when I've presented that, that's why I wanted to come in. I said, before we do anything, I need to make sure we get it in front of the district.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with her doing that. I don't think the board does, but I think if the funding comes out of us, we have some kind of say-so in.
So if you're saying, like, you guys would agree to 3 months of her
Yeah.
premium, and then if it goes somewhere else, she can either keep it or dissolve it. And I guess that's up to Dede on, are you comfortable on all that? Because fine with whatever. I just, tell me what you guys.
She works for us. Why wouldn't we do it?
I agree.
I do to a point. She is an independent contractor, and even though she would work for us, independent contractors normally required to carry their insurance, whatever that's why I think your salary is the way it is with an independent contractor. You're providing your own coverage, but you're getting paid a lot more than just a normal salaried employee who receives benefits at this. That's where
Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is different. It's just different. I mean, because she's not out there making $1 million a year. She's just making her salary from us. So, we do it and go for 3 months, and then that we can get this thing worked out, because this has been going on for a year, I think. So we need to get this thing wrapped up.
what are we looking at money-wise then for the?
Her, there is one policy that I don't have back yet, and that's standalone abuse molestation policy. So I don't know that number, but the workers' comp, her commercial auto, her environmental policy, which includes GL, and then the excess policy, the umbrella, it's $12,343 is the current total for
3 months?
For what?
For 3 months, or?
That's annual total.
That's annually, so
Annual,
we
okay.
get potentially money back that if we didn't use 9 months, correct?
And only the environmental pieces have the 25%. So like the work comp and the auto, those are 4,000 in premium. We could cancel those anytime and not have a penalty.
So we'd probably not pay any more than 4,000.
Yeah.
For coverage for the next 3 months.
And hopefully get it all worked out with a new interlocal agreement and all that.
And that's going to take care of the collection event coming up for her on her piece. I'm supposed to meet with the council for the final approval on that to get the county piece taken care of. And then the district, they're still under the county right now. So the only thing with the district, the pollution policy I had for them just lowered the deductible. The county is at the higher deductible.
Mary, I have a question. So out of what fund would we potentially take it? Could we take it out of like the event fund or the TOX fund, or does it have to be a specific line that's insurance within the solid waste management district budget?
Well, that would be from an other services line, and I know she has different items budgeted, so she could transfer money into that line to pay that.
Okay.
On the county, as long as the council approves that, on the pollution piece, I do have the district as an additional named insured, so they wouldn't have to, and that does have a lower deductible on the pollution piece. So just speaking for the pollution deal, if there was a pollution policy, if there was an event, the district's protected under that as well currently. I think you guys are using the same tax ID number the last I checked, so it's like, have they established a new ID, federal ID yet?
I do not know.
Okay.
I don't know if we have a tax ID number here yet. I don't think we do.
I mean, unless she's using the county's
That's what they
tax
are.
ID.
Okay.
That's what I
So
was,
then,
Yeah, she probably is using the counties.
and that's why I said it's all, the policy I have would protect the district still.
I do think in the end, though, the way the solid waste management district works, and it's going to have to get its own separate tax ID number.
So I have a question, because on our budget sheet, there's a line item for insurance, and for $1,400, there's a spring event insurance.
So that was last year, we bought an event policy, it was a special event policy to cover that in April. The goal was to have the pollution policy in force going forward. And the county moved to a self-insured program, and then the deductibles are $300,000 now. So and the exposures, they were getting ready to buy, I don't think it's went through yet, they were getting salvage yard, and then I didn't know it because you check IDM website, Hancock County has no underground storage tanks, but then I found out we have 2 underground storage tanks. So after I was talking, and one's at the jail, they just put one in either early this year into last year at the highway department, oil water separator. So that's where the pollution, standalone pollution came in. And then just with the events, I had concerns on, not just on site, but delivery during transportation, and then end use if we got brought in later on. So I just felt we needed to add pollution, a standalone pollution policy.
So I would entertain a motion on having Dede get additional insurance.
I'll make that motion for Dede to get additional insurance.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we ask Dede Allender to work with Brian Breeze on additional insurance. That insurance presented by our broker provide coverage up until we can figure out what's going on with Dede's position, and would be paid for out of the other services line. If money needs to be transferred into that, she would transfer money into that.
All right.
Is there any other discussion? So motion on the floor, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
So
Thank you
one
for that.
temporary problem resolved.
Going back to the interlocal discussion. I think a number of these issues in the interlocal will be addressed when it comes to determining her status as an employee of the district, because as he pointed out, it's not just benefits, it's a lot of these other items as well. So having that in the interlocal of saying, okay, you're going to run, basically, she will be kind of an accounting employee in all but most legal sense that where she's an employee here. And we have an agreement where we're going to run everything through the county and then reimburse them for it. And I think having that as an interlocal piece will address some of these issues with the vehicle use, that kind of thing. The office space is currently, it's owned by the county, right? And so, and I don't think we have an agreement with you. Is that right? Is that my
I
understanding?
don't think there is an agreement.
There's nothing in writing anyway. So I think that some of the stuff will be kind of encapsulated there. What we can do is, since the insurance piece has kind of been addressed, which was the most immediate concern, that we can put together a draft for you about kind of those pieces, as well as some other pieces that need to go into an interlocal, and get a draft out to all of you to review and check with the county on that as well to make sure that it's acceptable on their sides.
Right, we can talk to them and talk to financial advisor.
Yeah.
Tax rate.
And this is a fun situation where I'm telling you that I'm going to go talk to the county when I have the county commissioners here. But we'll talk to Scott Banky about it, run it by them, make sure that it's acceptable, and then hopefully we'll get a draft back for next month, and hopefully get this put to bed, and start moving forward to kind of more to the larger structural issues that have grown with the district over the last 20 some odd years. Is that an acceptable way of a proceeding?
Just till we get it wrapped up.
That's the goal. Seems like it's been talked about for a very long time.
It is, but we want it unpacked and redone correctly so we can time it takes to get it done right.
Yep.
Go along with that.
But get it done sooner. That's what I'm hearing. Take your time, but get it done sooner.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if there's anything that any of you, feel free to email me or contact me with any thoughts on it. You all have been in county government and your respective governments for longer than I, so happy to take any and all input would be great. So.
Okay. So do we want to just skip ahead to the recycling at Republic Services and your?
Yeah. So as of today, Republic is now going to start charging for recycling, for people to drop off recycling at their facility. It's minimal. It's like $5 for like a kitchen-sized trash bag for recycling. And then I think it's another $5 for, I don't know, so many linear feet of cardboard. Not sure exactly how that correlates to a box, but I've already had people contacting me concerned about it, and a lot of people say, okay, that's it, I'm done, I'm just throwing my stuff in the trash, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to try to work with Republic to see, I don't know what we can come up with, but see if there's some other, incentive or, something that we can do to, keep people recycling. It's because it's expensive to recycle. They, of course, everybody's bringing it to their facility, but, they still have to truck it up to 96th Street, and then they have to process it, and then they send it off to the actual recyclers that turn it into something new. So, it is expensive. There's a lot of expenses involved in recycling, so I don't blame them for needing to charge, but I am concerned that it is going to make us, take another step backwards. People that we're recycling are not going to want to continue with it. So I'm going to keep working on that and see what we can come up with, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. I've been using them as well for my recycling in my office since we don't have recycling currently in the office. I've been taking my stuff over there, so, now, if I want to take my stuff over there, I'm going to have to pay as well for my office recycling. And as a side note, I know this is not probably really the place, but are the commissioners still working on the recycling for county offices, or?
I think the recycling, eventually we get all this other stuff figured out with your position. That's what solid waste management, taking care of some of those things.
Oh, okay.
Recycling for
the county?
County.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where that
Not only
stood.
here, but municipalities. I just think there's more conversation to that.
Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
So the process at Republic, instead of just pulling in there and driving up to the bins and stuff, they no longer let you do that as of today?
Well, you can do that, but now they're going to ask you to pay a fee.
So how's that process going to work? Do you go to the office and pay first before, and then they look and say, okay, here's $5?
I don't know. I haven't been over there yet today to see what they have set up. I do need to take a trip over there just to see what the process is, but I don't know if they're going to have a person stationed at the bin or if they're going to have people go into the office. Or maybe it's a donation box or a, honor system box. I don't know. I haven't been over there,
Okay,
but
I just was curious. I use it, I see many people there every time I use it
I
and stuff,
know.
but
Yeah.
believe me, from past history, trash and recycling is quite an issue in our community.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know a lot of people use it every time I'm over there. There's at least 3 or 4 people over there using it at the same
Yeah.
time. So, I mean, people liked it. They were using it. It was
Yeah,
a good thing.
I think
And
it is a
wasn't-
good thing.
It wasn't getting abused because they were monitoring it. It has the fences up, so, people can't drop after hours, and it was working, but, yeah.
Well, you probably had more people that were dropping stuff off, not contaminating things.
Mhm.
There, Republic could control it. When you have these open sites where people can take things to, inevitably somebody dumps motor oil in there or dead animal, whatever it is, and
You're
it
right.
contaminates the whole lot, and then that just has to go to the landfill.
Correct. Yep. So it was working. It was a good thing.
Yeah.
That's all I have unless, anybody else has anything else.
Any other comment? Any new business, old business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for us to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 2 more items to take care of.
Okay, you go ahead and reconvene.
We're gonna hop around.
I'll reopen the commissioners' meeting at this point, and
David?
we need to ratify that local emergency management deal.
Here's the minutes, sign minutes.
I make a motion that we ratify the local emergency declaration for the floods that have taken place in Hancock County.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to ratify the local emergency declaration for flood emergency. All those in favor say aye. Aye. So motion carries. I'm going to go ahead and sign this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. There we go. There's that. And we have Garmong reimbursement. Or
It's an invoice.
invoices.
Let me get back there because they weren't in our red folder. I move that we approve the Garmong invoice number 720201-06, dated 6/30 of 2026, in the amount of $266,254.81 for the project of the Sheriff's Support Building.
Second.
Wait a minute, and there's one more.
Got it.
Okay. There,
There's,
Yeah.
add that to it, sure.
And additionally, for Garmong, we have an invoice number 7202.01-07, dated the invoice of 7/31/2026, in the amount of $761,883.02 for the Hancock County Support Services Building.
we have a motion is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second on the floor to pay the 2 Garmong invoices for the Sheriff's Support Building as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
County Farm Open House?
Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
take that?
There is an open house scheduled for September 16th at the Hancock County Sheriff's Department Conference Room. It will be to show the community who's interested about our thoughts on the master plan for the Hancock County Farm, which would include a justice center moving forward. Since we're outgrowing all of our space, there'll be opportunities for people to put their ideas down, discuss with the stakeholders of what their thoughts might be, and we welcome everyone to attend if anybody's out there left. Except for George.
So
That's about it. That is
You got
again
anything else?
September 16th, 6 to 8, Sheriff's Department Conference Room.
Anything else?
That's it.
Do we ever have anybody from the public that would like to speak?
Oh, no, here he comes.
Oh.
Hi.
Gentleman with the IU hat would
Yeah,
like
I
to
saw
as
him.
well.
George Langston. Earlier today, one of the commissioners and I had a real nice conversation about public speaking. I want to say for everybody that's watching out here, this is the only place that you get to speak at the end of the meeting. They don't have to do that. The other council and budget meeting don't do this. And so we need to protect at least this body as much as we can to speak, say what you need to say, be respectful. I remember a time when we had another meeting in here and this room was totally jammed with people. And there was two factions speaking, and one was being a little bit out of hand. And if Bill had clenched his teeth any harder, he would have broke his jaw. So let's just be peaceful about what we talk about.
Right. We let them have civil discourse, and that's what it's about.
And it's good.
Yes.
It's not something that you get to do at meetings. I've argued about speaking at other meetings for a long time, and it's nice to come up here and address what we need, but you got to be respectful. And I attended the meeting from your last meeting, and I attended the meeting at that night. And though I didn't speak at the meeting, at the evening meeting, it wasn't pleasant, and it's something hard to do. So thank you for allowing us to do this. You guys don't get enough.
Oh, no,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
So,
I mean,
Yeah.
we appreciate you just letting us tease you about things. You don't take it personally.
I don't wear it as a badge of honor. So I know I'm a pain in the butt.
But you're always welcome to come up and speak.
I know.
You have strong convictions, George, and we appreciate that because you always present them in a fashion that is respectful, allow us to answer questions when you ask them without interruption, and you don't know how appreciative.
When I was last meeting, you asked me a question, and I answered it, and all that kind of stuff. You guys are good, and you need to be respectful. That's all I need to say.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is, excuse me, my name is Kurt Swadner. I'm a resident of Woodhaven, and I'm here today to support the more than 350 homeowners in our neighborhood and almost 1,500 and growing petitioners throughout the county that oppose the Mount Comfort Technology Data Center. We know that there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. We hope that those questions are fairly answered with facts and not spin, and that moving forward, the entire county and our Woodhaven neighborhood is given the respect and due diligence that all of our representatives should give. So just wanted to voice that. I know it's early in the process. You'll be hearing from me a lot more. Gary heard from me last night. You also heard from me last night. This is a very passionate and controversial subject, especially for people that live within half a mile of this proposal. site. So moving forward, look for a lot of discussion.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Collip, you're so quiet.
All right, one thing
Motion
left.
to adjourn?
Second.
A motion on the floor and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Woo-hoo.
Quickest motion we could make.
Yeah.